Good morning from Colorado. It is now 2 minutes to noon Mountain Central Time in the United States. This is the fourth try I've had trying to make my video. I should have done it this morning, but I didn't. I was stitching. Anyway, we're going to start this video off with the drawing for the Christmas ornaments that I had stitched up, the 2 Vervaco kits that are actually cards, but I made them into ornaments. So here's the cup. And now you can see everybody's in there. Teeny tiny papers. I don't know why I keep doing it that way. Drawing a name. And the name is, oops, the name is ripped. Technically it is here we go. Earth Dawn Arosa. So if you are Earth Dawn Arosa, and you follow me on Instagram at AKAZAUS, you can leave me your mailing address and I will get these to you ASAP. That's right. Lovely Vervaco kits. I almost don't want to part with them because I really like them and I might want to stitch them again someday, but then I think, you know, you think that and then they end up gathering dust in a closet. So off they go to another stitcher who can love them as much as I did. So remember, they are the full kits, except I did use the floss, some of it, but there should be enough floss in there to finish whatever you want to do with it. And if you run out of floss, I did put the DMC colors on the floss cards there. So that's for you. So give me your address and I will mail these off. That's one thing down. Put that aside. Okay. Let's see, we did the drawing. I should mark these off so I don't keep assuming I haven't talked about them yet. Okay. So right when I started making the video a little while ago, Lucy, the dog, came out to visit, and that was fun. And when I was just getting to the next drawing, somebody was calling for Lucy, so Lucy had to go barging through the door, and I had to go again. Anyway, she comes to visit. She's out there whining, so I open the door, I let her in. She hangs out with me for a while until the boys in the house figure out that she hasn't come back in yet from her excursion to the backyard. So then they wonder, where did she go? Always worried that she ran off, but she didn't. She ran into Grandma's house. So, okay, so let's start with some of the finishes that I've had. I am participating in the Mamlek Sal, and last time we met, I believe, I talked about Mamluk and a little bit of the history and how they were destroyed eventually by the Ottomans. Here we go. But here's a piece, and that's the first part of it. That's part 1. And this piece of fabric, you see how tiny it is? This is literally how big that scrap was that actually has the Mamluk pattern on it, or the original scrap. And if you go to my blog, I did put a picture of it there so you could see what the original looks like. And I'd commented about, you know, when I get done with this scrap, should I just bury it in the backyard for 800 years? It's a thought. I have to find out where the original scrap was found and then kind of bury it that way. I think that would be kind of funny. But it is really pretty, and I'm doing it on the gingerbread. And Galdress DeFeer, who's the one who's putting on the Mamluk Sal, uh, she had started hers on the gingerbread, which I absolutely love this color of blue. I mean, look, eh, we whine and cry first thing in the morning. But look at that blue on the gingerbread. It's just gorgeous. And I can't see not enjoying this project with that color of blue. And so that's one. And then she also does Ornament of the Month. I need this again. And so I did mine on some Jody Ree limited edition fabric, mulled wine, and get you in there so you could see beads. I used DMC, what color is it? It's green. It's called satin now, but the floss that I have is from way back when it was still called rayon. So it's a DMC rayon, Sullivan's metallic thread, and then some Mill Hill beads. And I've seen a couple other finishes that are just beautiful. This ornament, oh, so gorgeous. And all the ornaments are going to be the same size this year. So I'm just going to keep using this piece of fabric along with the beads and the metallic thread and the rayon floss on this fabric all together. And then when I get done, I'll just put them together. Maybe. I don't know. It's really pretty. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And then the same thing here. We have, she does a 50 by 50. So I'm going to use this fabric with these two threads for the current pattern, which I can't show you. We're not supposed to show. Even though it's a free pattern, you got to go to her blog to get the 50 by 50. Or you could go to my blog and look on the sidebar. It's there. So these are the two flosses I'm going to use. All Jody Ree floss, Jody Ree fabric. I have so much of it. It is time to start using it everywhere I can. So that's why you'll see a lot of this going on for a while. And then I had a couple finishes, of course, since we last met. There's the New Year's Eve stitch along. There's the ornament. Did the back side there. And of course, the fabric is an 18 count white Aida that I pen dyed with a blue pen, and pretty fabric. I just love it. And then my second finish was the Neglected Floss stitch along. Let me do it this way. And I have this box, and I've shown you the box before. And I put it in there so you could see the stitching. The one thing I didn't do here was in the middle right here. There's supposed to be 2 stitches in the middle, but I didn't want to do stitches or the beads because it didn't look right to me. So this is what I did with it. And you can see there's a bronze bead in there just to give it some, I don't know, to not make it perfect looking. You know what I mean? Just sets it off a little bit. So there it is. And it's so pretty. Look at bling, 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 bling. So those are my 2 finishes so far. They may be small, but they're finishes. And then I have the Weaver's Bird Cell, and I've been working on the first section to get that done. And this is what I was doing this morning before I realized I had stitched a leaf one space too far over. And part of the reason for that was I was watching something and I should have been watching my stitching. So I had to fix some stuff. I'm not completely done with it because now I have to rip out this big leaf and adjust everything over one, restitch it, and then finish stitching the flowers. But here's where it's at now. I'll try and hold it back. I gotta hold it like this because if I do it up here, you guys are just gonna look right through the fabric. So you can see here the leaf is supposed to be 2 spaces. Wait, is that 2? Yes. 2 spaces from the border. And over here it's 3 spaces from the border. So when I got down here, I was like, okay, what part of this is wrong? Me automatically assuming that the easy part that can be fixed super easy is wrong, and it wasn't. This part was right. It's this part here that's horribly, horribly wrong. But here it is so far. Very pretty. And yes, all these colors are Jody Ree colors, and I have picked my colors for the pattern thus far. At least for this band, these are the colors I'm using. Now, these right here, let's see if I can get this behind here. Yes. Okay, so you see that like bud thing? To me, it looks like physalis, so that's why I use the colors. So in any cross-stitch pattern where you see, you know, physalis, it's kind of an orangey with browns and purples in it. So I thought, oh, I'll just use the Jody Ree Floss mulled wine that technically goes with this fabric. I didn't realize I was using the same stuff, but I am. And honestly, I like the floss. It's really pretty. It's a kind of a orangey purple gray. See that? Pretty, right? So anyway, so there's that. That's what I was trying to finish before the video today, but upon realizing things went horribly wrong, yeah. Oh my gosh, just so uncool. So now I have to fix that, which brings me to, oops, put your name aside, how much time I have spent stitching that band. I am at 8 hours, 20 minutes, 30 seconds, and 29 milliseconds. So what I've decided to do, because really I didn't have a plan for this year, but it's kind of coalescing as we go along. I've decided that for 2019, I'm going to stitch 19 hours per whip to see about getting those finished. If I finish something and there's time left over, I'm going to roll it over into the next project. So because I have to fix the leaf, that's probably going to take another hour and a half because there's ripping. Okay, maybe 2 hours. So that'll leave 7 extra hours for my whip, odd clover, which I'm showing you this because I have to finish this. This isn't something I can just do the 19 plus the roller hours on and then move on to the next one. I have to finish this. So whatever time is left from the weaver's bird cell, I'm going to attach it to the 19 hours for this, and whatever extra time I go over on this is going to be taken away from the time on the next whip. Does that make sense? That's what I decided to do. And I don't think this will take too long. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. But that's what my plan is. The plan that really is just, I mean, seriously, it's just kind of, it's coming together, even though I didn't really have a plan, and I didn't think that I would at all this year, but you know. And it's funny because I was watching Farm Girl, and she says stitch 9. What is it called? Stitch 9. Anyway, 9 projects for the year, pick them, and then get those done this year. And it turns out I have exactly that to do. I don't count the Mamluck stitch along because it's so tiny. Ornaments of the month, neglected floss, 25 by 25, 50 by 50. I don't count those because I can do them or I cannot. It's not a whip per se. It's just something fun to do on Tuesdays and Thursdays because you have less of a chance to make mistakes while watching 2 particular shows if you're doing something small. And so there's that. And I apologize about my voice and having to clear my throat a lot. You are lucky because today, nope, I could talk yesterday quite a bit. Today seems to be more of an effort, but Friday I had 0 voice. Was it Friday or Thursday? Or both days? Thursday. That's right. I hadn't spoken Thursday at all, and I had to go to the store, but I felt really bad. I was just like, ugh. So I went to the grocery store and hadn't spoken up to that point, so I didn't know if I had a voice or not. It didn't. Who cares if I have one or not, right? You're home alone. Didn't feel like talking to myself that day, so I went down there to the store, and one person spoke to me, and I tried to speak back, but there was nothing there. So I just waved. Went on my way. And so that was the first time I found out Thursday there was no voice at all. So, I mean, it was just totally gone. And then Friday it was there, but it wasn't there. I mean, it just, you know, Saturday was okay. Today, obviously, I have enough. I have enough to do a video, so that was good. I was kind of worried yesterday. I was thinking, oh, how much am I going to have? So, maybe I should drink some water, right? My first Broncos Country Cup. I've never thought much about the Broncos because I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, but watching a lot of the good things that this particular football team does in and around the state of Colorado, not too bad. I mean, like all football teams, they have a couple bad eggs, but what can you do? You know, the power gets to their head, all that money, what are they going to do? Go out and be bad. So, but most of them, for the most part, they go out and they do fun stuff and things for kids, stuff like that. So, I'm not a Broncos fan per se, but I am proud of my cup, my very first Broncos cup. Okay, I do have a little bit of haul for you, just a little bit of loot. I'll put my notes away because I'm done with my notes. So, when was this? Last week? Well, okay, so we had we had the week of Christmas and then we had the week of New Year's, right? And sometime during that time, I had put in another order with Sullivan's for the floss. And of course, I got the gift, which is the I'm gonna open it real quick. It's the Humbug pattern, and I've been throwing these in as gifts. They're also the sewing thread pack. So for the person who just won the ornaments, you're going to get this in with the 2 kits, so you can have fun with this stuff. And here's what I've been doing with the thread that's been coming in. Am I doing this wrong? I'm doing this wrong. How did they do it? It's just a bag, really, and I can't figure it out. I'm going to do it like this, just to make it all spiffy. Okay. The joys of being sick. Okay, so mine doesn't work. It never does anyway, so whatever. So this thread and the Humbug kit is going to go in with the 2 patterns for the thing. And I get these all the time. I've already made my biscornu, which was hanging on my tree until I put it away. So anyway, I put in my order for the next batch of floss. Now remember, when you go to mynotions.com and you order something from them, if you make an order of $35, you get to get free shipping, which means by the time you are done making an order for $35, there's a lot in that order. So it's going to take a little bit for them to put it together. And so it being the holidays and everything, I didn't think anything of it because I figured they'll get to it when they get to it, because they're always so good to me. So I ended up ordering, they do their flosses in color books. So I can't remember what book I'm at. Wait, 1, 2. Okay, I think I'm at 6 because I think this one is 5. So I ordered 3 color books, a lot of floss. I don't even know how much floss that is, but this is a lot of floss. You can see this is how it comes in, and what they do is they mark the bag with the numbers so that you can see what's in here. And then they had dressmaker pins on sale, and where do all my pins go? I've got fancy ones, glass topped pins. Who knows where they go? The only pins that don't disappear are these ones, because they're not pretty. They're plain, they're simple, nothing ostentatious. They're just pins. So I got some pins, super cheap. And then I ordered some more zippers, 18-inch zippers. I find they work best when I'm making the project bags, and pretty, 16 cents each. Now when you go to Joann's, you look there and it's $2.99 for a 14 or 18-inch zipper, $2.99 versus 16 cents. Tell me which is the better deal. And these zippers are pretty good. They don't mess around. Yep, I think I might be in love. That's a good idea. But that's my haul. I mean, haven't really done much haul until the other day. Ashley over at Make It Pink, Pinky the Pink on Etsy. She wanted to order this pattern from Pana, which is overseas, and you know, whether you're ordering from the US to overseas or overseas to the US, the shipping is going to be crazy expensive. So she was talking about it, and she's like, can we find this pattern over here or with better shipping or whatever? And I said, you know, there's a pattern that I've had my eye on with Pana, and if I buy a pattern and you buy a pattern, we can split the shipping. She got excited, done deal. Already paid her for everything, and now we just wait. But I kind of lied when I said there was a pattern on Pana that I wanted. There's more like 9. But I haven't ordered those yet. I'll see if anyone wants to do another Pana order and we could split the shipping. uh, yeah, I think it's 6 because there's a flower series that I really like that have the physalis and the cotton, and it's just really pretty. It's like watercolor, and I like that artist. So I believe the artist is Russian or No, I believe he's Russian. He or she. They only go by first initials, so I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but really pretty. And then, so after that happened, it kind of sparked in me this urge to go look at my wish list over on 123. And I thought, it wouldn't hurt to get one little pattern. I mean, there's a bunch of sales stuff that's on my wish list, and okay. So one thing fell into my shopping cart, and the next thing I'm thinking is, I wonder how many patterns I can put in my shopping cart before the postage goes from $3.99 to whatever the next price is. I think it's seven something, I don't know. But how many patterns can you get for $3.99 in shipping? The answer today is 2 patterns, 2 patterns and 3 kits for $3.99 shipping. That's not how much the rest of the cart costs, but I'm just pointing this out. Altogether, you can get 5, and the shipping will only be $3.99. So the next Floss Tube video, I will actually show you some haul, which you'll probably enjoy because it is a continuation from the Vervaco patterns, of course. So I think you'll like it. It'll be fun. So that's all I have for you today. I'm so pleased to have a voice to share with you. And I think I'm going to go rip out a leaf, fix that nonsense, and then maybe you guys will all see it on Instagram and on the Facebook group and stuff that I actually finished it correctly. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you all have a beautiful day, and until next time, keep on stitching.